Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Hard Mode Challenge. In the last episode, our brave explorers finally managed to vanquish one of the killer beryenas. In fact, they took care of an entire beryena family. The killer beryena father, the normal beryena mother, and now we have a tiny little friendly beryena to raise again. So I am super excited for that, because that means that it should be a little bit easier to pull that pesky beryena snout out of our genetics. So far we've found that the derp snout really overpowers it, so Amelia hasn't been able to have any luck giving birth to a beryena snout hybrid with Bambi. We will try again though, because I think quite a few of their children are going to be branching out soon, looking for adventures of their own. Orion and Hero really strike me as creatures who would want to carve out their own path on the island. Hero wants to be known for the same heroics that he was named for, so I think he's going to try to lead little Orion further from the territory. We'll bring him down to the shore and scout out for some fish maybe. Look for little bunnies to lure him in this direction. There you go, Kate. A nice big meal for your new babies. I'm sure Rocket will be very impressed with your efforts. Oh, that reminds me too. I did notice that Danger also has the beryena snout in his genetics. I didn't even really consider that because Rocket has the beryena snout, he could pass it on to his babies too. So even though the derp snout is probably going to get in the way, if we could breed a couple more females with the beryena snout hidden away in their genetics, that might be a good way for us to finally break into our hybrid line. So we'll have Rocket go ahead and breed with Kate again, and then I believe we can have Danger scoot his way out of the nest. We want him to be near the poison berry bushes though, because that's going to be his job with his toxic body. That means he's the only creature on the island who can actually safely take care of these berries. So we'll have Darkrai watch over him for now, just so he doesn't get picked off by any of those pesky bluebirds in the skies. Even though they're a little bit more interested in this side of the island, and I guess that's probably because of all of the commotion. They may have even been looking to pick off our beryena meat, which would have been quite the situation for us. We need that to feed all of our new babies, including little Ember, who unfortunately doesn't see very well, and I'm sure Webs would notice that right away. Oh no, don't tell me. Do not tell me. Oh, it was one of you? I think it was actually Liana. Well, that's a very fitting way for you to pass, with the memory of all of those leeches that terrorized your family before. They used to be pretty lucky on this island as far as leeches went, but I guess over time that blessing has faded away. But yeah, I think Webs would notice that Ember is struggling to see ahead of him, so he might want to find a good berry bush to set him up by. In fact, maybe we'll even bring him down here so he can be mentored by some of our collectors, like little Fable, who I'm sure is going to enjoy scooping up all of those fresh berries with his nimble fingers. Now Toomey should be able to give birth to yet another baby in this nest, and now she's watching after Danger, so that means Darkrai can return to hopefully reuniting with his mate. He's probably a little bit concerned. It's been quite a while since he last saw her. She disappeared off into the grass to actually take down the killer beryena. It was all Green Glacier who did the job. So I know that is going to really impress Darkrai. He is quite the warrior himself. So between them both, they have a lot of trophies to hang on their walls. And oh my goodness, Sonia, look at all those acorns. Now that Rocket has moved away, we're actually getting pretty close to not having anybody who could pick up these acorns for you. So we might want to consider breeding the Crackerjaw back into our line, or at least bringing over some of those nimble-fingered collectors to do the job instead. So Amelia, let's try one last time to have another beryena snout baby, if that pesky fertility doesn't get in the way. And then I think Bambi is going to have to go chasing after the bunnies, so this guy doesn't steal our berries. We're going to give Iroh the job of digging up the roots, because Peppy smells so many of them off in the tall grass, so it would be a good idea for us to scoop them up for the extra food. Then Rarely can try her hand at hunting, since she is one of the strongest. Maybe not the fastest, which is probably going to end up being her downfall, but she's still going to try. Peppy, in the meantime, just wants to find one of those healing fruits, and since she's too weak to truly take down any of these creatures... Oh, hello, Mr. Dodomingo. It's been a long time since we've seen one of you. We'll just leave the moles and the bunnies to more capable claws. Though it looks like she at least stumbled her way into a brand new permanent nest, so I guess that's always a good sign. Maybe if she can find somebody to start a family with, once she finds the healing fruit that she's looking for, that might be a good place for her to return to. But I think we're all out of turns now, so let's go back here to see if maybe we have a little bit more luck with the toxic body. Oh yes, we did! And it's a female too. Okay, so let's see, do we have... No, unfortunately no bearyena snout, but honestly, with the toxic body and those nimble fingers, there isn't much more that we could ask for. Now, what did we unlock in the mutation menu? Did we get... Oh my gosh, I think that was our 10th generation? Okay, we were supposed to unlock the normal blood clotting after 10 generations were born. Technically, that is where I was planning on ending this series, because I felt like that would mean that we have survived and thrived on this island. And I think we can pretty much say that we have taken over successfully, but there are still a few more goals that I want to reach before we say goodbye to this tribe. Like the bearyena snout, for instance. We're not going anywhere until we see each and every one of those bearyena genetics on our babies. It seems like you guys are really having fun with this series too. And I'm glad because it's probably one of my favorites so far. It's been very, very chaotic, but it's also been super fun to play through. So the next name on my list is Vulpix, which is actually pretty fitting thanks to that bright orange fur. So welcome to the tribe, little one, and pretty soon you will be working just like your brother Danger to gather up all of those poison berries. We'll want to shuffle these babies around, maybe bring Reese down. Well, I don't want to bring him down here because we should probably have Tommy breed again with Rocket. So I guess instead he could scoot up this way for now. It doesn't seem like that mole is too interested in scooting his way out of his burrow. And that leaves room for Kate to finally have another one of her babies too. We'll go ahead and try to dig up the roots with some of our last turns, just because she doesn't really have anywhere else to go. And then Tommy can come over here and do the same. Though unfortunately that one is being a little bit stubborn. So all of our babies are protected. That means that Rocket can maybe light up a little bit more of the area. And we'll want to make sure that Jip is okay too, because now he's been left all alone. I mean, he wanted adventure. He came out here to explore the world a little bit more before he needs to settle himself down by this healing fruit. Maybe we could even have Fable lend a hand. We'll bring him down the shore to light up the way, hop on top of that stump, and guide him back to the mainland. Otherwise, I feel like he's just not going to return. Now, as for this baby, let's just take a closer look at his genetics too. He does still have the big body, those 2 bearyena claws. So yeah, he's going to be just as strong as his father is for starters, and quite a few of his other siblings too. Despite the fact that we haven't been able to breed in that bearyena snout, they are still the main protectors of the island. And if we run into any more killer beryenas, they're going to be our main line of defense. We'll name this baby Comet. So welcome to the tribe, little one. And we'll see where your adventures lead you. And then it's time for Orion to try to catch up with his big brother. We'll bring him down to the shore too, as Hero takes his first steps into the water. Oh, and as a little bunny comes to say hello. Oh my gosh, on the other side, Bambi, if you were still over here, you would have been able to catch this guy for us. I think they're just trying to lead you in circles. Something tells me these cheeky bunnies are doing this on purpose. Well, we'll have Amelia spend her time out here just in case it decides to scoot a bit closer. And then Bambi can watch after your baby for now, as Sonia gets to work on all of these acorns again. Yeah, they are trying to lead him in circles. Now this one is coming out to say hello again too. Oh, you desperately need some more babies to help you with the hunting. Now Peppy, you're safe out here, right? We have warriors ready to jump to your aid, but we have to make sure that you don't get caught off guard by those beryenas. We'll have Iroh follow his nose, digging up roots along the way, and then Rarely might be able to try her hand at mole catching. If we let Peppy maybe pick up some of the extra grass, then scoot Rarely to this side, she can catch her very first mole, a rare delicacy in these parts. But back to work, little hero, who I'm sure is quite interested in all of these little fish swimming around in the water. We'll have him try to scoop those up on the next turn. He should also be able to take care of the clown koi, right? Maybe not. I thought the bearyena paw gave them a little bit more fishing skill than it does. So we might only be able to fish up the normal fish swarms after all. I'm sure Harry would be impressed though. He's one of the other creatures who really loves to go fishing. Oh my gosh. And it looks like the bearyena has taken a shining to him. Well, let's go ahead and pick up the grass so we don't accidentally lose you. And then maybe Harry could lead you toward the stream again. I wonder if you would enjoy fishing as well. Oh, and on Biba's very final day, let's have her come over here to scoop up the berries with her nimble fingers. That way she can leave the tribe with the extra food, and Glacier can come over to the stump to light up the way for her family. And just in time too, because that bunny is scooting down the road again. So Darkrai, why don't you lead the way for Cupcake? And then you guys can reunite with the very, very victorious Glacier. Now all we have left to do is bring little Ember down to the collectors, so Webbs can hop a clear path with his little frog toes and light up the way to the poison heart of our island. And with that, we should now be ready to skip the turn. We'll just have Amelia maybe hide away in the tall grass. Maybe she can be just like Athena and confuse the bunnies by camouflaging herself away, so they won't even know that she's there, and she should be able to pick them off easily. Now I think one of the Crackerjaw babies was actually born. Oh, that is such a good sign. A Crackerjaw baby to take back to one of these trees and hopefully help us out with all of those acorns. You are going to be very, very pleased to hear that your duties will continue after all. We have bunnies scooting in the grass, but I'm a little bit more concerned about the potential for beryenas. So let's just make sure that the only bearyena in our tribe is a very, very friendly one. So far, so good. The rains seem relatively calm today, and it would be a good idea for us to pick our berries before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So Ember, this is actually your time to shine. Go ahead and grab the berries before the bunny can do that instead. And then maybe your father Webbs can chase it down so it doesn't continue to be a nuisance. Now, is there anyone left over here who can pick from this berry bush? I don't think so. I think we're going to have to use this as bait instead. So we'll leave you guys for now. We'll see if you can sniff out any extra bunnies while we bring Fable over to the tree stump to hopefully guide Jip back to solid dry land. He'll just pick up the acorns for the road to offer up as thanks, and then I think we'll bring a rocket down here to pick up that extra meat, just so the bluebirds don't get to it instead. Our tribe saw it happen right before their eyes, so they're a little bit more mindful about where they're leaving their meat. You don't want to leave it for the bluebirds. Now Toomey, you can come over here and have your next baby, and then I think we might want to bring her to the healing fruit, just to get rid of those last lingering remnants of the poison. Oh, and Kate too. Okay, good thing little Jip is coming back, because I think you need to use his healing fruit now. We'll have her make her way over here since all of her babies are safe, and on the next turn we'll heal those old wounds. Hero can call his brother over to the shore to take a look at these lazy fish. They never seem to move anywhere. It's like they spawn in this algae and then they get completely stuck in the waterfall. I mean, we shouldn't complain because it's just more food for us, but it is a little bit suspicious, and it makes me wonder if there might be something wrong with the fish too. We don't need our poor tribe getting any stomach aches. But no bunnies, huh? It seems like they may have gotten wise to your ways and decided to leave you alone for now. We just have these way out here in the grass, and honestly, I feel like they're probably stealing different berries that we aren't even aware of. Let's bring Amelia up here. She has a root to dig up, and she can sniff around a little bit just in case. She knows the berry bush is being kept very safe by Bambi, and their baby is too. Lil Comet will learn a lot about hunting this way. Now you better pick up your mole meat because we don't want that getting stolen either. And then we'll have you guys make your way further and further into that tall grass, searching for a little bit more than just the pesky bunnies of the land. Surely Peppy is going to find something out here, right? I mean, it seems so bare aside from the roots. You have quite a bit of work ahead of you, Iroh. But not a single new healing fruit. You know, I think we're going to head back in this direction because this seems like the most promising area to me. And even if there's nothing new here for us to discover, we do have these trees off in the distance, just like the very same island on the opposite side. Oh my gosh, I just realized how fitting that is. Because this was the island of our Cracker Chaw twins, and we literally have twin islands in the north and the south, and twin bluebirds too, apparently. Okay, maybe we want to sniff around a little bit more out here. They must just be really interested in the colonies of bunnies? I don't know. Maybe they're hoping that we're going to turn on our friendly bearyena and leave them with a whole bunch of meat. Well, of course, that is the last thing on Harry's mind. Though I'm happy to see that the bearyena does appear to be following him. So maybe he will go all the way to the stream and help us out a little bit. Try to fish up some little snacks for us to feed to our next warrior babies. So Glacier should be able to set up her nest right on top of the stump, which will be a good place for her to keep watch over the area, since it is still pretty dangerous out here. There's a lot of grass, so a lot of potential for dangers to spawn. We'll just have to be very mindful as we carry on. So it looks like it's just you guys left. We'll have Reese pick up some of the grass, try to dig up those roots, but Tommy is going to have to stay right on that nest. And Fable. Let's see. I guess we might as well have him stay here too, unless there's a different berry bush that he could potentially pick from. We can't smell it from here, but we'll have him do a little bit of poking around to see what he can find. Now let's go back to our explorers. Our brand new explorers of the tribe, in fact. I guess this family is kind of taking on the torch, now that so many of our other explorers have unfortunately passed away. Oh, and look at this baby. Oh, that is so strange. It's actually the mask. I saw that his ears were a different color, and that really confused me. It almost looks like they've been pasted on. But success. While this isn't a female that we could potentially breed with the friendly bearyena, wherever you ran off to, oh my gosh, he is literally following Harry right now. Well, we know who adopted this friendly bearyena. But yeah, while he can't breed with the friendly bearyena, of course, at least he has it in his genetics. And with the Cracker Jaw, instead of that very pesky derp snout, we might actually be able to put that on some of his babies. Oh, doesn't he have the cutest little nose too? He is a very interesting creature. Probably one of my favorites so far, just based on looks alone. So the next name on my list is Kiba. Welcome to the tribe, little one, and hopefully you will be able to protect our explorers from all of the dangers in their future. I want to have Cupcake meet this friendly bearyena though. Oh, and maybe even snag up a little bunny for him to eat too. Very, very nice. If that doesn't catch the friendly bearyena's eye, then I don't know what will. Unless it's just fish. Maybe he really, really loves fish and not so much the bunny meat. I guess we'll find out if he decides to turn around and steal it on us. Maybe, in fact, we should ask if a green glacier could come over here and scoop it up instead, just so we don't end up losing that potential source of food. And then a Darkrai can clear out all of the grass around his baby, so our newest generation of explorers can survive and thrive. Oh, and Fable, you're all grown up now too? Excellent. So still no berry bushes out here, unfortunately. It looks like all of this grass is empty. But at least you're making progress for your family too. In fact, I think your toxic siblings should be able to scoop up all these berries. But wait a second. I think you also have a little twin in the nest. The paws are different. This one has a claw instead of the nimble fingers. So they're not exactly the same, but their markings are so similar. I feel like their parents would have a tough time telling them apart. The next name on my list is Hunter, which I feel like he would probably succeed at thanks to his claw and his nimble runner's leg too. So he should be a pretty quick little baby to scoot around and pick off those bunnies. We need somebody to help us out, so poor Ember isn't stuck with the task of keeping the bunnies away himself. It's probably not something that will come too easily for him, since he can't see so well, so he might not even notice those pesky bunnies sneaking up on him. Oh, and I forgot to name this poor little baby too. I think I was too excited over her Crackerjaw, of course. But the next name on my list for her would be Rihanna. Welcome to our tribe. And we might just send you off in the future to do a little bit more acorn collecting, where we could definitely use it on some of those unattended trees. Kate, you can scoop up this healing fruit too. That almost takes care of all of the damage that she sustained while she was picking those poison berries for us. So I'm glad we were able to save her in the end. And look at all the things that Orion found out in the ocean. We have another one of these crabbits, which we haven't actually seen in a very, very long time. So Amelia, I know you might not be too happy to hear this, because you want Bambi to keep watch over those berries. But we're going to bring Comet and Bambi down to the shore to hopefully take care of the crabbit instead. And there we go, look at that. He still managed to outsmart the bunny with the help of Comet. So they make a pretty good duo. Alright, we'll have to keep that in mind. Maybe they'll be able to take down the crabbit together, in fact. And maybe Kate can scoot out here and steal its shell. The Bandit brothers would be very proud. I feel like Peppy's need to find one of those healing fruits is causing her to be a little bit reckless. Without, oh my gosh, what? We have a bearyena out here? Okay, reckless indeed. I was going to say without making a pathway behind her, it's going to be difficult for them to escape if they do run into danger. And like literally at that exact moment, we just happen to stumble blindly into a bearyena. The one silver lining is, I don't think he'll be able to notice us, because our camouflage skill is super high. Peppy has the stripes, she has color camouflage too, so I guess that chestnut brown fur, and maybe even the black fur, should be aiding her in her efforts. Hopefully her traveling buddies are the same. Well, they only have a 4 because they don't have the stripes, but that should be okay, right? And even if it's not, they're probably far enough away where we wouldn't have to worry about them getting injured. If it does go toward rarely, then that would probably be the best case scenario, because that means that, oh my gosh. Oh, Iroh, don't tell Peppy. Do not tell Peppy that you stumbled straight into that healing fruit. Oh, she is going to be so upset. Well, let's bring her down here. Even though she wasn't the one to discover it with her own big nose, I feel like we kind of have to give her a break. We'll let her take most of the credit for that. And that also means that as long as they can get rid of this bearyena invader, this might be a good place for her to settle down after all. Maybe see if she can find a mate of her own to start a nice big family with. Now, Amelia, you can finally take care of this bunny too. And I think that might actually be the last one in the area. So your family can finally rest, at least as far as the hunting is concerned. We'll bring Jip all the way back down to his healing fruit practically. He can really run a far distance. And I'm sure that's why he was so motivated to explore the world, because he has so much energy. Let's bring Rocket back up here to meet all of his little babies, get to know them a little bit better so Toomey can take a break and eat those healing fruits. Now she has 8 lovely days left on her lifespan, so she won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And there we go, they finally took care of all of those berries. And Reese can try his hand at chasing bunnies too. I kind of like how Webbs is stationed on the stump. Since he knows that his son is so hard at seeing, this would be a great way for him to ensure that nothing is going to sneak up on him, just like we said before. So I think we will leave him right on top of his throne, and we'll get ready to skip the day again. So nobody is giving birth on this turn, right? I think everybody is out of their nests. So let's just see what's going to happen with this bearyena. If it's going to catch their scent, or if it's going to wander ever deeper into the tall grass. Oh, has it noticed our friendly bearyena? I mean, there is a gigantic amount of land for it to cross, but it's interesting to see him moving in that direction. That means you guys aren't out of the woodwork yet. But maybe we can try to catch its attention with Rarely, or at least sneak up on it. So she should be able to land in a few good hits as soon as she has more energy to spare. So we won't want to pick up all of the grass out here, because that's a great way for Peppy to hide when things get a little bit too rough. But we will want to make sure the entire healing fruit is all cleared out, so we can access it from the safety of the shore especially. And before we end the episode, let's just see if our little tag team can maybe get to work on this crabbit. We'll have to have somebody come back to pick up the meat, and I guess Kate could spend a little bit of extra time with our bearyena hybrids. She has certainly never been this far away from her home before, so it's probably a little bit scary. But despite how big and imposing these creatures seem, they are very, very kind-hearted. So I'm sure they wouldn't mind letting her poke around their home for a while. Maybe pick up some acorns if she can. And those berries too that they're so fond of, but that nobody has found a truly safe way to gather. So they've been missing the sweet taste of their berries. And now that our toxic bodied creatures are growing up as well, maybe it's time to see if we can expand their line. We need to get more collectors on each and every last one of these berry bushes, so it might be a high time for us to get to work on that. And yeah, we won't be ending this series until we finally see those bearyena genetics on our babies, so I feel like we still do have a bit more story to tell. I'm not ready to let go of this tribe just yet, so I hope you guys are looking forward to the future. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!